Okay, those pots and pans are there because there's a leak in the cabinets, the leak is coming from the upstairs. The upstairs has leaked down into the downstairs, and the leak is inside the cabinets, and it's coming into the pots. So, yeah, that's the leak. That's the over the stove, and that's the hood that's all messed up. That's under the sink, and there's black mold all on the walls under the sink from a leak underneath the. This leak was coming from the pipes there, and there's a leak, and there's some kind of leak inside the walls also. Those that is the sink. The wood is rotted inside the sink, and the wood has been rotted. Yeah, there's mold inside of the cabinets from the leak. Well, there's I don't know what kind of water that is. It created the mold inside the cabinets. And see the mold right there. That's some more black mold. That's the stove. That stove got a story. I needed a new stove because my stove I had was leaking carbon monoxide. So they brought me this stove. This was 5 years ago. And this stove was old when they brought it to me. And normally they will bring you a brand new stove. They didn't bring me a brand new stove. They brought me an old stove. And I cried so bad because I felt like I was being discriminated against for being a female. And I knew the government had money to get me a new stove. And I've lived in government housing forever. And I know that they bring you a new stove when you need a new stove. And they will never bring you a used stove. And not this was like 5 years ago before I moved out. Before they moved us, I mean, that's how long ago it was. Yeah. So this is the bottom piece of the stove that was brought to me. That piece right there was so thin that when you would cook and bake in the oven, it would set the alarm off because it would get so hot. So I never even cooked on that stove. I've used the burners, but that was about it. I normally would I bought a toaster oven, and I would use the toaster oven. All right, so it's moving day. I moved for 2 weeks straight, 4 hours a day, and 2 to 3 hours inside of the home. Once I got finished moving for 4 hours, I would go in the home for 2 to 3 hours and pack up some more stuff or move some more stuff downstairs. And it was tiresome, but it was actually fun because everybody was actually moving and everybody was actually walking from the apartment to the apartment back and forth with their stuff. And it was a long process, but it was just fun because, you were leaving this raggedy apartment and leaving to something else that was much better than what you were in. I've been in that apartment almost 10 years. I think it was 10 years. Was it 10 years? Oh, let me see. Yeah, it was 10 years. 10 years. I've been in there for 10 years. And so it was fun to move to something that was more fresher than that. That was just a funky scene. And I was really excited to get to a fresher scene. And yeah, that wasn't too good for nobody. That bathroom had a leak in it too. The bathroom had a leak in it. My bedroom had a leak in it, and the cabinets was leaking. It was water all over the floors the whole time I was moving. That dresser, I do. That's a desk. I don't like that desk at all. I actually threw that away. I threw everything wood in my room away. I had to put all my clothes on top of this desk because all my drawers are out of the dressers. They're in the garbage. I had to throw all of that stuff away. There's so much water damage with wood. Wood and water is no, they don't go together. I had to throw. Only thing I was able to save was my vanity in that room. I had to throw everything into the garbage. So I wasn't too upset. That stuff was, I mean, it was all right, but it was time to get some new dressers and stuff like that anyway. And I did look a hot mess. I looked a hot mess the whole time I was moving. And I really didn't care, but I did. I know I was filming looking like that, no makeup, two ponytails, and nappy hair in the back, and I with the blue raggedy hat on, and I still didn't care. I was a little bit, I was concentrating on moving. I just couldn't wait to get out of that apartment. That water was leaking everywhere. It was just leaking everywhere. It just really started yeah, it just started making you feel depressed a little bit about certain things and putting you in a downer mode. I just was ready to go. I was impatient about leaving. I was ready, really ready to go. I really didn't know when to pack my stuff up. They told us that we was going to move a long time ago. We watched them working on these apartment buildings, and they told us we were going to move um, 2 weeks, 1 week. Actually, told me yesterday we were moving, and that's the day I started moving. I packed up half of the upstairs, but I didn't start really packing up to the day that they told me to move. I didn't even know when to move because they tell us so much stuff. I started moving on the day they told us to move. Oh, but they gave me a new refrigerator and stove here though, so that was a plus too. I've been baking, and I've been baking and I'm able to bake on the stove, which is better because I can cook more food than just a small amount of food for a day or two. I can cook for 3 to 4 days, and that's better for me. I bought a dolly during the pandemic, actually, because I would order so much stuff and never could get all of the stuff up the steps. Those are the apartment buildings that they were working on. That we had to wait. That's some more black mold on the wall. There's some water leaking inside of the wall. I don't know what's the story with that. There's the sink. Their sink is stopped up with soot, and the only way to get the water out is you got to keep taking the water out of the sink, pouring it into buckets, and carrying it up the steps. The floors are stained, or they're stained, and they're stained and won't come out. That's just the old floor. The floors is just old. Steps are damaged. It took me 6 hours to clean up that apartment on the very last day of my 14 days of moving. And I've never been so tired. I was just really tired. The new apartment's tub is really just the biggest tub I've ever seen. And the back of it leans back like a recliner. And I got into that tub. This is the apartment. It's over with. We're leaving now. I got into that tub, and I could not figure out how to get out of that tub. I turned that way, I got up. I turned the other way, I got up. I thought maybe I would get on my knees and then I would push at the bottom of the tub, but that didn't work. I could not figure out that. I was so tired. I was really just that tired. A few days later, and I get out of this tub very easy. I was just that tired. I've never been so tired, but it's a good feeling to know that if you need to move and leave somewhere that you can just get a truck, leave, not call anybody, and go where you need to go. And that just makes you feel so good. Thanks for watching.